really, I thought offensively and defensively, it was really a good team win. It's a team that we've got a ton of respect for. Come in here in a great atmosphere and environment to be able to do that. And, we'll enjoy this. And what a great challenge we have against an excellent football team next week. But, you guys go ahead. I don't. He got his oblique. I think he probably could have been able to come back in if it was a little bit closer, kind of similar to Puka last week's there. So, but he was outstanding today. You really felt his presence early and often in the game, comes away with another touchdown. But I don't have an update as far as, anything specific. Players executing. They've done a great job, Adam. I think we've been able to be efficient in both phases. I think guys are winning one-on-ones. Matthew's putting the ball where he wants to. But football is the greatest team sport that there is. And I think when you look at it, obviously a consistent theme if you were to say, how big Devontae's been. But I think Matthew's been excellent. It was great to be able to get a couple rushing touchdowns today. I thought Kyron put his foot in the ground and leveled some runs off and then was able to run around the edge. But it is truly all 11. And proud of this group. They're earning a lot of the confidence with the way that they're working throughout the course of the week. And this is what we want to be able to do as the season goes, is just continue to build. And, like I mentioned, you look up and you see, you can't help but notice, I'm a fan of this game, how big time Seattle's been and what a great challenge it's going to be, and great atmosphere at home next week against a great football team.
So how big was it for your team to get up by the 3-touchdown lead?
I think it was big, and then credit to them. They'd made enough plays to be able to kind of get themselves back in it, cut it to a one-possession game to make it 21-14. And then offensively to be able to go right back down and get back up 2 possessions was big. And so felt like, just like, it's never easy. And this league is so difficult, so challenging, and there's ebbs and flows, and you just have to stay steady, stay even-keeled. I think our team has a bunch of mental toughness, resilience, and the ability to be able to respond. They stay connected through the good and through the challenging moments. And I love this group. I'm excited about being able to build with them as we continue on the second half of the season. Yeah, this is a great football team, and obviously there's a lot of history. It's always pretty cool to peek up there and see, John McVay's name in the corner, and always think about him and what he meant to me. And I wouldn't be in the position if it wasn't for him. But I have a lot of respect for this organization. No Kyle and this, this team and these coaches, they're excellent. So to be able to come in here and get a win, it's always difficult, it's always challenging, and we're very pleased with the way that our team came out ready to go today. He's been awesome, Gary. He's just been in total command. It's a continuation of a guy that really works, his tail off throughout the course of the week. He uses the accumulation of knowledge and experience, and then he's just playing really confident. It looks like the game is really in slow motion to him right now. And the best thing about him is he's so humble. But we're really grateful to be able to have him leading the way. He instills a belief every time that he's at the switch for us, and guys play well around him. You want to do right by him. He makes me a better coach, and certainly don't take for granted how lucky I am to be able to work with him, and I know our team feels the same way.
They cut the lead down to 7. What did you like about not only the fact they responded, but how they?
I think you really just kind of answered it with the question. I liked the way that we responded. And, there was a bunch of big plays. I thought Puka was awesome on a couple of the screens. The 4th down and 3 was a big play to allow us to then be able to hit Devontae on the touchdown. And, just really overall, I just really like the resolve of this group. There's a resilience. There's a mental toughness. There's an ability to be able to respond. We always talk about being able to respond, not react. Thought we stayed steady. And then I thought the defense did an excellent job as well, making the stops when they had to. What a cool job. Emmanuel Forbes gets another pick on a 4th down. And, it's awesome just to be able to see guys celebrate each other's successes. One of the things that I think good teams do, they celebrate each other's successes. There's an enjoyment for other successes. There's an enjoyment for staying connected through the different ebbs and flows that a game entails. And I love this football team, love this group. And like I mentioned, excited to be able to build with them. Go ahead.
Last couple of years have been kind of a bit of a struggle for Devontae, just the organizations that he's been in, the way that those seasons have gone. How much joy do you see him playing?
I can't attest to that. I can just tell you how grateful I am to be working with him, and how smart, how special of a human being he is, first and foremost. And then he's feeling good. We've seen the rapport between he and Matthew really start to come to life. Hopefully that oblique is just minimal. I think he's playing his best ball. He's just getting better and better. He's like a fine wine, just getting better with age. But we love him. I love being around him. I love everything that he's about, and he is a big-time guy for our football team. Go ahead, Nate. Yeah.
I guess what lessons are you proud of that these guys have learned in the game since then?
Yeah, I mean, we talk about it. Your scars either strengthen you or they make you weaker. And I think what we've seen, and again, it's always about a continuation, but in the 4 games that we've played since then, it's been a pretty good movie. And I think we're getting better. I think the way that the guys work throughout the course of the week, I think that we're understanding the intentionality about how we practice, how we prepare, and how that practice preparation and performance can equal game reality, if we trust ourselves and we trust the preparation and then they trust their teammates. And I'm seeing that unfold on a weekly basis, but there's never a good story without a little bit of adversity anyways. And I think you only learn about people when you do go through those challenging times. Certainly that was a very humbling night, a challenging night, but I've loved the responses from a lot of guys and most importantly our team collectively and our coaching staff. And on to the next one.
You talked to us in January about wanting more versatile offense. Having kind of 8 pass catchers, being able to mix up personnel.
Yeah.
Just what you had.
Yeah, I think so. I think the important thing is, and I give our defense a ton of credit, they've inspired us in a lot of ways, where they're using everybody, different personnel groupings. I think one of the most important things, I've heard my dad say it before, everybody loves being a part of something bigger than themselves as long as they feel like their role contributes to where you're trying to go. And how do we create value with the fortunate luck that we do have? I don't want to say luck, but how fortunate we are with when our 48 guys that are all up and active, hey, how do we take advantage of them? And whether it's the different personnel groupings, whether it's getting guys involved, I've said it to you guys before, the best offenses I've been a part of or best teams, they use everybody. They have different ways they can make you pay. You're still playing 11 on 11. If you overcommit to something, then you got to be able to open up and expose the other things, whether that's on the defense or the offensive side of the football. But I just love the fact that everybody is making, an impact on this thing. And I think that's part of our job as coaches, to be able to figure out, all right, how do we accentuate their skill sets? How do we get them going? And something that we've got to be able to continue to do.
Sean, can you tell us about the reason why you came out on the football 6 or 7 times before you went to the run?
Say that again for me.
I think you guys threw the ball the first 6 or 7 times we went to the run. I think that really set the tone for you guys.
Yeah.
What did that do?
You just said it, we wanted to set the tone, open up the run. I think our guys are able to execute, in a lot of instances. Sometimes you're really just being able to say, all right, hey, what are the ways, there was sometimes, where we were inefficient on first down and then we ended up having to throw it. And I thought we did a great job, especially on the first drive where we hit Devontae on a curl, ended up hitting Puka Nacua on an outcut where we were kind of inefficient. So we tried to throw it on an early down, ended up going to 2nd and 10. And so that kind of led to it a little bit. Didn't want to be predictable where you go first down incompletion and then you're just going to kind of, go ahead and run it. So we came out, we wanted to be aggressive. When you got a quarterback that you can call the game through, it lends presence to be able to do that. But ultimately, we're just trying to be able to move the ball and score points, and our guys did that in a big way.
A little bit of everything. I feel like obviously ran it in a couple times and was able to toss it in there a few times as well today. So just executing, guys being physical, backs finishing in the red zone is awesome to see, and then guys making great plays on the perimeter. Tay made a great catch. DA and all of our tight ends did a nice job too as well. So it was a complete team effort, as it always is when you win a football game like that. Just proud to be a part of it.
You have 13 touchdown passes in the last 3 games combined. That's a franchise record in that short time. Puka said when you got the last one, you called it a shimmy shake because you're having so much fun. Is that what it is?
Yeah, I was having a good time. I got hit on that one pretty good, so I had to shake that one off a little bit. But, no, it was I don't know, man. Like I said, I have fun out there. I lose my mind when we score touchdowns. I don't think about it. A lot of these guys are in the locker room pregame prepping what kind of dance they're going to do if they score a touchdown. I just go out there and play, and whatever comes to me, comes to me. But just, again, I'm just happy to be a part of this team. It's a blessing. Such a great group of guys, obviously really talented football players and coaches, but what a great group of guys that I get to go to work with every single day. I don't take that for granted, especially at this stage in my career.
This offseason, Sean told us he wanted a more versatile offense. Do you see him having fun with some of the personnel or just some of the play calling?
Yeah, I think, the more we can do, the tougher we are to defend. Now, if we were bad at doing all sorts of different stuff, it'd be no good. But, when we get into 13 or 12 or whatever it is, yeah, we're getting bigger. We're getting tight ends on the field, but they're talented football players too. These aren't just guys that can go in there and do one thing. All of them can block at the point of attack on the backside. All of them can catch the football, run after the catch. So they're really good football players on our team, and we've done a great job of utilizing them. I got to give Sean and Mike and everybody a great deal of credit for, being able to do that quickly and devise, plans that, let those guys go out there and be successful, let our team be successful, and it's really worked well for us.
Puka was saying, at this point you could be walking on water, and no one should do anything to kind of disrupt the heater. How would you describe your play?
Yeah.
How would you describe kind of your play in the last 4 or 5 games?
It's been good. There's still plays I want back. There's things that we can get better at, and it's fun to win football games and still feel that way and know that, hey, that wasn't quite our best, and there's a couple throws or a couple plays here or there that I wish I could have done a couple things different. But that's football. That's NFL football. We're playing a division team. Gave us a bunch of they kind of unloaded the clip on us today. Tried to give us everything that we could look at, but we did a nice job and we're able to make plays. But just trying to stay in it, stay focused, enjoy it, and try to lead these guys and help us find ways to win.
Sean says that Devontae Adams is aging like fine wine, obviously 6 touchdowns last 3 weeks. When do you see that?
Yeah, that's a great way to say it. He's done an unbelievable job for us in the red zone. He was great early in the game for us as well. Second play of the game, got on the rock. Later in that drive, got him a dagger. He was doing Devontae stuff, and when he can do that and then cash in for us in the red zone, that's a huge plus for us. So we're happy to have him. Love going to work with him. What a great teammate, and obviously a fantastic football player as well.
Davis Allen said that he didn't know that he caught your 400th career touchdown pass. Is that something that you knew?
No, I didn't know that either. That's the one, huh? Yeah, unlike a lot of the other ones that I throw, I feel like on the run and scrambling around, usually in the pocket somewhere. But, no, that's awesome. It's super cool. I say it all the time, but I'm just such a huge fan of the NFL. I have so much respect for the guys that came before me and played before me and what this league means. And, to be able to reach milestones like that, it's a ton of people involved. It's not just myself throwing touchdowns. It's a whole team in a bunch of different places, obviously a couple different cities, a couple different franchises. So it means a lot to be a part of, the history of the NFL and be able to play it for as long as I've been able to. I don't take that for granted.
Because of that respect, do you appreciate this? You've always been appreciative. Do you appreciate this, quote, heater, the way this team is playing even more?
Yeah, I love coming to work. Now, you lose a ball game, I still love coming to work. I love the challenge of the NFL week in and week out. It's obviously most people are in better moods when you come away with a win. But at the same time, we have such a great group. When we've had a couple setbacks this year and lost a couple games, the resolve, the attitude of our team has never changed, and I love being a part of that. And when we've won games, we also haven't gotten too high. There's obviously things to clean up. We know there's big challenges ahead, and we just got to continue to play. But this team comes to work with the right attitude. I love being a part of it, and we'll just hope to continue to do that.
This week started with a parade celebrating the Dodgers and your friend Clayton Kershaw. That ends with a statement written by you guys. This is your adopted city, but how great is it to be an LA sports fan?
Oh, it's great. Yeah, it's awesome. Obviously very proud of what the Dodgers were able to accomplish. Proud of my friend's unbelievable career. And I know those guys are probably cheering somewhere for us. It's a fun fraternity to be in, LA sports, everybody pulling for each other, hoping they have success. And right now it's pretty fun. Luka's doing crazy stuff too. So, talk about a heater. He's on one. So.
How about, being mentioned in MVP conversations? And that's happened before, back in 21.
Mm-hmm.
How does it feel or affect you at all to be kind of in that conversation?
Yeah, it doesn't affect me. Obviously, I appreciate, those words. I don't pay too much attention to them. I'm trying to just continue to find ways to be a good football player for this team, lead this team, and try to get us in the end zone as much as I can, do my job as best I can. With that comes whatever. And I don't know. I think about those awards. I see those people say stuff like that, and all I can think about is, I'm just lucky to have unbelievable teammates. I really am. To be able to throw the ball to the guys I get to throw the ball to, play behind this line, and hand it off to these guys. I feel like there's a lot of people that could be doing what I'm doing, so I'm obviously working hard at it, trying to be as good as I possibly can, but I'm really appreciative of the guys that are, that are in that locker room with me.